Manchester United 4, Real Sociedad 1. Hat-trick hero Bruno Fernandes. What will Arsenal fans say now? I know you're ready to attack Arsenal fans, so I start attacking them. Just say what you want to say. That thing that is in your mind, just say it.
I'm not. To be honest, I'm not looking to attack anybody. I think I just want to speak well of Ruben Amorim and the team. To be honest, like I'm not focusing on any football club or whatever. But I'm just going to speak of the game tonight. To be honest, like we talked about this. Like I said, I think it was the last two games. I think it was Real Sociedad the first game in Spain, where I said that if you look at the last 2-3 games prior to the Real Sociedad game, that the team had began rather to sort of like play well, play decently. Let me not say play well. Like we have rightly pointed out, the team have sort of like understood the shape now. They know how to shape up, how to recover, how to play in positions if they are going 1v1s or they are playing in zones at whatever ends of the game. Like we saw again the dynamics against Arsenal, opting to go stick up the same formation, but then going low block. So for me, it's about the team, and then we saw second half. I think second half was more like a what we watched today, sort of like an introduction to what we saw today. To be honest, we saw the second half against Arsenal. We saw Manchester United come out, retain possession, ping balls forward, run out on breaks, counters against Arsenal Football Club. Quick also to recover, and don't forget this is a team that's right on the bench. We've got just teenagers on the bench. Now I'm not using the word youth. I'm using teenagers. We've got teenagers on the bench. Like this is an injury ravaged team. On the starting 11 today, we have a 21-year-old Dogu. We have an 18, 19-year-old Havin. You get me? We've got Joshua Zexi. I think 21 again or so thereabouts. We've got 22-year-old Højlund. Look, the core of this team, or the larger makeup of this team is a youth side. And the pressure of playing for Manchester United is something that I understand. I'm also guilty of it as a fan. We tend to sort of like come down heavy, on these players, on the managers, and we tend to forget that these are young boys, and then they have just come on. They are not English blokes. They are just coming into the league, and they need to find their feet and get the forms and all that. To be honest, like today for me, I'm very excited. Obviously for the scoreline. We started a bit.
Let's even talk about the referee and his decisions. Let's talk about the referee and his decisions.
I don't know if you saw. I don't know if you saw prior to the game, and even when the game was ongoing. The commentary or the commentators kept on, hammering on the fact that in the last 20 games prior to tonight that this very referee have officiated. I think he had awarded, I think about 13 to 16 red cards or something like that. He's got high
penalties, maybe up to 100 yellow cards and
yeah. So I think he's one of those sort of like. To the latter, like he follows like the rules like by the book according to black and white, and maybe tends to depend on his cards in controlling the game. Sometimes it can lead to chaos, like we saw today. To be honest, like I thought at some point he lost the grip of the game. If you ask me, the game I think
I've never really that third penalty that he gave Manchester United.
I've never really been a fan of. It took Dogu. Dogu went to him and said no penalty. It took Patrick to walk up to him and said no penalty before he called the car and listened into the VAR and all that. So to be honest, for me, excellent scoreline, amazing performance. To be honest, like we started poorly. After conceding the first goal, Manchester United literally just took the game from there, and it was Manchester United all through. 60% at the end of the game, 60% of the possession, Manchester United, 25 shots with 10 on target. That's probably maybe the best if you're looking at it statistically we have had this season in terms of shooting on target. and we have said in the last 5 to 7 games, we have been creating more chances now. We have been creating more chances, and I think it's time. It's going to come with time. We're going to be burying more of these chances. So I think the team has taken the shape. We have seen what it's going to be like. And for those fans who are saying that 3-3-5-2 or whatever is a defensive formation, I maintain it's not a defensive formation. It's never a defensive formation. It just requires a lot of energy, and that's what I'm saying. That Manchester United will not only
coming back, you need energy to play the 3-4-3 formation.
Yeah, and so
sorry for interrupting. I want us to talk about Zexi and Højlund. Højlund played well today. Yes, he didn't score, but he played well today. So let's talk about Zexi.
If you would permit me, I think I would like to speak of the team generally.
Okay.
Yes, Onana is erratic, but I think every fan or every football fan I'll speak, or Manchester United fan have followed the football team closely, particularly this season, will agree with me that in the last couple of games, Onana have been more commanding of his space. I don't know if you have begun to notice how commanding, how he charges and all that. He's erratic, all that he has.
I just have this feeling that he might be sold this summer. That's just my feeling.
For me, it's if he gets sold, I don't think it's going to be the wise decision of Manchester United financially, because you are looking at the goalkeepers that have been linked to Manchester United are all about 50 million quid. And you get me, you got Lana for about 55 million quid just 2 seasons ago, and then you are looking to throw him out again. You are going to sell him obviously for less. And looking at the wage and all of that stuff, so basically, arithmetically, it's not a wise business decision for the football club. Also considering where the football club is currently financially, I think Matthijs de Ligt again. I think Matthijs de Ligt is going unappreciated. I'm going to sing his praises again. Matthijs de Ligt for me had an outstanding game. The penalty was soft. For me, it was no penalty, but that's. Well, maybe for neutrals, it was fine. For the game, it was exciting. It led to maybe a more intense build up to the game, but that's fine. I thought the young 18-year-old Heaven again was excellent, calm on the ball, composed. I thought he had the better start. In fact, I think Heaven and Patrick Dogu had a better start for me than the rest of the team, because immediately they had the Japanese guy trying to attack from the weak and all they were so like they got into the game quicker before any other person got up. So Heaven for me again was outstanding. Mazraoui just broke his fast. He has been playing the last 3-4 games. This is obviously the Ramadan season. He has been excellent for me. Probably the best. Maybe by Bruno Fernandes. For me, I think he's the player of the season for Manchester United. If you ask me, Mazraoui, I think he's deserving of it. And if he gets awarded that, I don't think anybody would debate that. Patrick Dogu, for me on the night, I know Bruno is going to steal the show, having scored the hat-trick. But for me on the night, I think Patrick Dogu is the man of the match. He was flying on the left wing, and this is what we have been lacking, because obviously in this system you will need your left and right wings. And I think since we have been seeing our wing backs exchanging passes amongst themselves, we saw Dalot and Mazraoui in the last couple of games. Today again we're seeing Dogu, how he's been flying. I thought he brought way lots to our offensive successes on the night. For me on the night, he was my man of the match, because I thought that all of the goals, he had something to do with them. Chances creation, ball progression, ball retention, tackles. Yes, there were some times that you could see that, okay, this kid is raw, he's brash, he's lacking experience in probably maybe his decisions, when to pass, the weight of his passes and all that. But I think there's a player there, there's a proper football player there that probably is going to only take time.
I don't know if you can sum it up as quick as possible.
Yeah, so Casemiro again, excellent game. I think obviously all of us must have listened to the Sir Jim's interview, specifically naming Casemiro probably as one of those who are underperforming and on high wage. But what better way to sort of shush every other person than the performance tonight? For me, it was excellent for me. And I applaud the manager, particularly for taking him out the time he took him out. So he enjoyed that chair. You could see the standing ovation in Old Trafford on the night. Zexi and Holland, see what I've told you. I've always said that these two can work together. With the way they play, the dynamics, like I'm saying, the Zexi guy is the Rooney-esque, who's going to be there to play the ball through for the Ronaldos and the Berbatovs and the likes of them. Good on the ball, good. The weight of his passes have been improving per night. Every game, the weight of his passes have been improving. We're seeing his control. We're seeing he's beginning to own the team. Today, he was making a lot of progressive runs, like not just passing the ball forward, but I mean progressing with the ball, moving with the ball, and bringing in the entire team into, in the play. I thought because of how he played and how Casemiro played, Bruno had an exciting game, to be honest. Garnacho, decent game on the night. A bit selfish, obviously, that's Garnacho in some situations, but I thought he had a decent game. I thought Diogo Dalot had an excellent game, even when the substitution was done. Obviously, this Soceidad was already a man down, but for me, Dalot had a decent game defensively, and was happy he was able to crown it with a goal. As Højlund, for me, a decent game. Though him and Zexi again on the night were unable to convert chances, I thought Zexi had a couple shots. Højlund threw themselves. So I think overall the team had a decent game. My heart's doff the game for Bruno Fernandes, El Capitano, El Magnifico, the best of his kind. For me, like, that's the best in all of England the last 6 years going now. As long as a proper midfielder, I think. Right now, every other person can keep quiet. When the team needs him, he rises up to the occasion. When it's like the boat is sinking, it's like, he's the Jesus Christ that's sort of like shush the wind in Old Trafford. For me, he's deserving of everything positive that happens for him ever. So I'm happy for him. You could see about 50 yards dash to his hat-trick. You saw the way he took the dash from way into our own half and made a 50 yards dash. And for considering that pace, the energy exhausted and all that, and his ability to keep his calm and bury that ball, for me, that's class. That's a proper football player. And I don't get why he keeps getting the knack from people. Obviously, he's always, even on today, we saw when he was throwing out his hands on a couple of his players. He did it on Dogu. Had an issue with Dogu, where Dogu was supposed to pass the ball. We saw the one with Højlund where he flicked the ball on the first, thinking that Højlund would dare to smash it. Obviously, on the night, even on this night, but he's going to go unnoticed, obviously, because Manchester United won and Bruno scored a hat-trick. But we're saying that this is who he is. That's how he wants to be. He leads with his emotions, wearing his emotions on his sleeves. And for me, I can't really, if he's performing for me and the whole team loves him, you see how everybody runs to him. Zexi is like his boy. He's like, everybody runs to him. They look up to him because obviously he's leading you guys on the pitch. He's showing you guys how the ball is to be played. So none of you guys can even say nothing to him. So for me, kudos to the manager, kudos to his team. I think he's deserving of this after, the last 4 months. These experiences, obviously poor form, terrible form. As long as the football in Manchester United, I think the manager Amorim, it's only right that he had experienced nights like this, and one can only hope for more nights like this. Obviously, we're not going to be carried away. We're going to celebrate what it is this night, an amazing, victory. Where else to have experienced that than in Old Trafford? On the night, and I hope the weekend we're going to only even see them, go on to progress.
All right, Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. See you next time.
Yeah, thank you, Ahmed, for having me. Have a good evening.